Morning everyone. Beautiful day today, and nice day for sitting by the fire and making digeridoo. So I've been for a little bit of a walk. You can see a nice bit of bushland, a few trees fallen down in the storm recently, so I went and had a bit of a walk around, and basically what you're looking for is something that's on the floor. Looks a bit like this. See, it's got like spider webs in the bottom, which indicates it's hollow. And then as you go further up the tree, you can see the termites have been up inside it a bit more in different spots. There's one of the branches I cut off. There's another one I cut off over there. So the next thing we're going to do is empty it out. We've got the fire there. Just get a bit of heat going up the inside. Give that a minute or so. And all the good wood on the outside should stay there. And as you can see here, the smoke's coming through that hole. We can fill that hole afterwards. But we want to get all the way up to here. Once we get it up to there, next job's take the bark off and start making it look pretty. So when I get the next step, I'll put the video back on and show you. Rightio, so taking him out of the fire there, and I've got, see down here, all that black stuff coming out. That's all the bits of the old termite nest that was inside. So she found a couple of things to help me out. I found a bit of an old steel bar, and I've also got an old CB arrow that I've been using to poke down there, but you can use sticks and stuff like that just to poke in there. All you want to do is knock it out. It's pretty simple once you've given it a bit of love with the fire. So I'll continue that until I get it completely clear. I'm only probably about here, halfway at the moment. You see there's a couple of other holes in there, but we can sort them out with a bit of wax or something afterwards and clean them up. They'll come good. I won't start blowing on it yet because I haven't completely cleared it out. Soon we will, and we'll have a look. See you soon. You can see now I've had to get it burning a bit more, clean out a bit more stuff. You can see there they got the flame coming out. The other end always should blow now, but that's alright. We've got most of the way through it. Might do a bit of cheating soon and put some compressed air in it or something. Just out the truck. You can still see these other ones I got. Bits of smoke and flames. There's two holes there. And it ends on the fire, but oh, nearly got me. Chuck it in the middle and see if we can get a bit more going. That end. Whoa. That's what we want. We want that heat coming right through. Straight down the line. Cool, we'll get the next bit soon. Oh yeah, so giving it a bit of a clean out down the inside. I can get from one end to the other, and if I need to pour water through one end, it comes out the other pretty quick, so I think it's not too bad where it is. As far as the middle's concerned, if I did want to go a bit bigger, I can just burn it out for a bit longer. Next thing I'm doing now is, I've got a rock, and on the rock there's a couple of nice sharp edges. So with the sharp edges, I'm going to use that, take off the bits of bark, just sort of scraping it up. I'll get a bit going and get a bit into it, and show you these, where these holes were. I've just basically bashed them down a little bit with this, and then give them a rub, and use a rock like a bit of a sanding paper, and it files it down nice. And then I'll collect all the stuff that comes out from where I've been filing these down and sanding down the ends and all that sort of stuff, and I'll do a bit of a mix up special ingredients and make up a bit of sort of like wood glue and fill that up with the leftovers, so that becomes closed off, and then we should have a nice sound coming through after that. Oh, just found another chunk of crap in there. Cool. Alright, cool. I'll chat to you all soon. Bye. Ooh. Random guest. Hey people. Not too often we get guests coming through, but they all like to have a bit of a sticky beak at the moment with the wildflowers out. So as you can see, I'm getting there with cleaning it up. Starting to get a bit of a snake pattern down it as I'm getting down it with the rock and sanding it, which is kind of cool. I might leave that in there. It'll look pretty afterwards. A bit more down the bottom there to do yet, but we're getting there, and then I'll fill some holes and see how she rolls. Okay, so I've got it sanded down. And if I zoom in there, you can see I've filled the holes, and little bits and pieces and stuff, and tidied it up a bit. I've just got it next to the fire so my little magic potion can set with the bits and pieces that come off it when I'm sanding it. So I'll just let that dry, and then we'll show you the next step again. Alright, so update on the events. I've gone and got a bit more wood to warm the fire up. Being that it's not cold, I want the bits of stuff that I've put in to the sides and the holes of the didge to set. Now this is the shavings and stuff from where I was shaving all the bark and sanding it down and all that. And as you can see now, it's quite smooth, and it's got a really cool pattern all the way through here. And it goes all the way down, and then I've kind of left the bottom of it a bit with everything and a bit rough, just so you know it's real. And then you'll see, like, for example, this hole, well, that's got some of this, and I actually cheated. I had other things I need to take care of, so I cheated and used a bit of wood glue and just put it in there and kept building it up and around and around, and that's one of the holes that you seen the smoke coming out of before after it's been sanded back and smoothed off, and when that dries and gets nice and hard, which is not getting far off, but it will do it probably in, I don't know, an hour or so. Then I'll sand that back again, or even maybe add a bit more just to make it nice and flat. You can see here, that one's come out nice and flat on most of it, but I've filled up the holes again. Where I use that rock on the end to smooth everything off. You can see how smooth the timber's got from the rock. So all of this here, this edge, that's all rounded and nice and soft now. You know, you can, even if I don't know if I can put the light on, hang on. Let's see, they're looking down inside now. Looks pretty cool, hey? But yeah, anyway, so that's it, and it's sitting by the fire and drying out stuff now. A lot of you might say, well, how do you cut the bits off, you know, like this knob here and this one here that was smoking earlier? How do we get them off? And most of the time, if the timber's already hollow and full of termites, those bits have already either snapped off or there's a hole there already. And if you get your rock and just, you know, like the rocks there, you get your rock and you just bash it about a little bit, it'll break it all down, and then once it's broken it all down, you'll be able to smooth it off and sand it. And so for the end, I was using, like here, the point of the rock, and just put the point of the rock in and go round and round and round and round and round and round and keep going, and it actually wears a groove into your rock as well. Like if you have a look there, there's a nice groove in the rock where the didge has been sitting there. Yeah, and so nonetheless, you go along, and this side here, the nice flat side, you just use that and just keep rubbing it, and you'll feel where you're going and everything else, and it sands it down for you nice. Something like this is a bit better. It's got a really good sharp edge for shaving the bark. Like on here, there's a really fine sharp edge, and that's good for shaving the bark. But the way this one was coming out with the sanding, I thought, you know, that's good enough. When you think about how do I cut it off if I don't have, you know, an axe and all that. So you can see on this end here, this branch, I'll roll it over. So this one's fallen down in a storm or something. But you can already see there's a hole going up the centre. So if I get this one, and just here, I'll put this, hang on, I'll go a bit higher. If I go across there, it'll get that nice pattern and that nice knot. I might even go a little bit lower and leave the knot in there, and just burn those other bits off, that one, and then that can be the bottom of the didge. And then where I want to go to is, I'll follow it up. So then you've got the base of the didge down here, going across there. You come up here, and then maybe just as it bends here somewhere, maybe long enough. Actually, I might take that off. I think I'll take that off and then put it about there. It'd be a nice long one that you could turn upside down and then sit and play and get the good vibrations going. So the idea there, you don't need a saw to cut it, you just burn that part off, and when you've burnt enough of it back, stump it out, put some water over it, and away you go. Start sanding and it'll clean up come out nice. You can leave the burnt end there if you want. Alright, it's all part of the learning. I'll show you the next step soon when we go to sand these down, and then I'll have to coat it with a bit of oil. And it doesn't matter what oil at all. Coconut oil is probably the best thing to use, but we don't all have coconut oil when we're in the bush, so any oil out of anything will help protect it and make it last. But once you know how to make them, you could make a new one every day. So not that you would, if you're sitting around somewhere, you'd probably keep it, but yeah, that's how to make a didgeridoo, and we're getting there. I'll show you the rest soon as this is all dried up. Okay, so last thing we done was put a bit of glue, some wood chips and stuff together, and I'll see if I'll put it in the sun. So that's where I filled the hole, one of them. That's it. There's another one. And so it's had a good sand down and that sort of stuff. The next thing, if I just put the camera there for a second. So the next thing I'll do is get some of this. It's just coconut oil. Let's get some on a rag. A bit hard to do that with holding the camera at the same time. So let's see how we go. Alright, so all we're doing is a bit on the rag and rub it in. What we want to do is get the whole thing, so I'll do that now. I'll keep rubbing it in, and it takes a fair bit, probably about 5 minutes, so I'll do that bit, and then I'll show you through what is the final product, I guess. Alright, hang on. Okay, so it's all oiled up now, and as you can see, the dog's got a couple of grass seeds there, but you can see the colour and stuff that comes out now that it's all been oiled up and nicely tidied up. If I get that around that way. You can see didgeridoo. I'll play it for you, but I'm actually hopeless at didgeridoos, so I won't, otherwise it'll just be a sound of a wet fart or something. Alright, thanks guys.